Hey everybody. Today we are going to be learning about the automation paradox. This is an article that you're going to be reading. We're going to be doing a few things with it. So after you read the article, you're going to be analyzing the article. Then you're going to be doing a little bit of research on automation. And at the end, you're going to be writing a short persuasive essay about whether or not you think automation, what its impact on employment is going to be. So let's jump in. There's a bunch of aims here that we're going to be talking about. Primarily, we're going to be talking about evidence, claims, reasons, graphic features, things like that. Also, a little bit about what automation is and what a paradox is. So, starting off, review on argumentative writing. Argumentative writing, we have a claim. That's the writer's position or opinion on an issue. Remember the difference between facts and opinions. Facts are statements that can be proved or verified. However, different people may interpret the same fact in different ways. Now, an opinion is a statement that cannot be proved, but as it expresses a person's beliefs, feelings, or thoughts. Fact, our school is 3 floors high. Opinion, Brass City Charter is the best school. These are differences between fact and opinion. Strong arguments, clearly and logically lays out claims and reasons to accept the claim, and sufficient evidence. Relevant facts, statistics, quotations, examples, expert opinions to support those reasons, right? So you have your claim, that's your argument, what you're trying to argue. You have reasons why we should believe that, and then evidence are things that you use to support that. As you're reading the automation paradox, you're going to take notes. One of the ways I suggest you do this is by making a chart like the one below to analyze the argument's claims, reasons, and evidence. If you write the claim at the top, and then you think about what are the reasons the author gives and what evidence they support for this. This will really help you understand the central argument of this text. Okay, so I highly suggest you use this as your primary way to take notes. Graphic features. There are graphic features in this text. As a reminder, a graphic feature is any design element, like a diagram, a bar graph, a pie chart, that visually represents information. Authors often use graphic features to show patterns and relationships between facts. So as you're reading this article, pay attention to each graphic feature. See what it emphasizes. Ask yourself these questions about the graphic feature. What information or evidence does the graph provide? What's the author's purpose or reason for including this visual? And what conclusions can be drawn based on the information in the graph? Understanding graphs and pie charts and things is a really, really important skill for being a critical reader. Okay, the article is called the automation paradox. There's 2 words there that you probably haven't heard before. Let's start with paradox. A paradox is any statement that is seemingly contradictory or opposed to common sense, yet is perhaps true. So the sign over on the side, a primitive road, no warning signs, but that's a warning sign itself, right? It's a paradox. Here's a couple of examples. Somebody says, nobody goes to Murphy's bar anymore, it's too crowded. Well, this is a paradox because, if the bar's crowded, then it's actually a ton of people are going. Then it doesn't make sense that nobody goes there anymore. Now, you could say nobody just means like none of our friends, like we don't want to go there anymore. But actually saying it's too crowded, nobody goes there is a paradox. Another example, time traveler goes back in time and murders his own great-grandfather. Well, time travel paradoxes are pretty common. And if this is an example, then the time traveler murders his own great-grandfather, meaning that the time traveler can't exist because the great-grandfather would have given birth to the grandfather or grandmother, given birth to the parents, given birth to the person. So they don't exist. But then if he doesn't exist, how can he kill the great-grandfather? Therefore, he must exist. This is one of the ways why time travel is so difficult. Okay, let's talk about automation for a second. Now, automation is when machines or computers do human jobs. Pretty much as simple as that. Anytime we have machines or computers do human jobs, we see this more and more in society, right? We have robots doing human jobs, factories. Hopefully teachers could be replaced by robots at some point too. Now, that's a fact. Another fact that this article presents is that automation creates more jobs. Also a fact. They support this with evidence. Therefore, less jobs equals more jobs. How can this be true? This is the paradox at the heart of automation, that although automation somehow does human jobs, it's also creating more jobs for humans. The article goes on to explain how this is true, and this is one of the central things that you're going to need to try to understand. How is it true that machines are taking human jobs, but also creating more human jobs. Okay, this article is by James Besson. He's an economist and lecturer at Boston University, very smart guy. He's focused on technology and innovation, as well as computers in the workplace, and he wrote a book on this stuff. Why should you care? Well, because you guys, this is going to be your world. More and more jobs are being taken over by machines, and you guys have to figure out what is this new landscape going to look like. In a few years, you're going to be entering the workforce. It's going to be a very different workforce than what I went into or what your parents went into. And you need to understand how automation is going to change your world. Okay? So, good luck. I hope you enjoy the article. And make sure, again, I would really recommend making a chart that looks like this one in your journal, right? Doing this right here will really help you understand this writer's central argument. As you get into the article, here it is, the automation paradox. When computers start doing the work of people, the need for people often increases. And that right there is pretty much the central claim of this article, okay? You don't have to do these HMH questions, but if you do, it will help you understand it better. Pay attention to the bar graphs, pay attention to the line graphs here, pay attention to the images, and read closely. Best of luck.